We, of course, talked about earlier the success of Justin Bonsignor here, as he won them all last year here at Thompson and went on to win the championship. He is, of course, starting from the second spot here today. And Doug Colby, who was the fastest, looking to turn his season around, even though it is early in the season, only 2 races so far, did not fare so well down south. So he's happy to come north and back to a place that he knows real well, the Thompson Speedway, and he set the fast time. There have been 142 races for the Tour here at Thompson, going all the way back to the starting year of 1985 when Richie Evans won 4 in a row of the 5 races here at Thompson. George Kent spoiled the perfect 5 by winning the last one of the season during that 1985 season of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. And now the new stars of NASCAR get lined up on the front stretch before we give you the starting lineup. Of course, Ron Silk, the winner at South Boston, has 4 wins here in Thompson with 49 starts. He finished 3rd in 2 of the last 4 races here. But also don't count out Burt Myers. Experience starting to pay off for him. He had a great run at South Boston. His pit stop strategy didn't quite play out the way the team had hoped. After he led so much of that race last week, he got passed by Silk for the lead and eventually faded to 6th. But he's a 9-time champion at Bowman Gray Speedway and 2-time Southern Modified champion. So he's one to watch, as is Tommy Catalano. Catalano had a great time with the 2 races down south. Started 3rd at Myrtle Beach and won the pole at South Boston. He's the defending Sunoco Rookie of the Year. He's going to run... He's run 4 of the Tour races here at Thompson, yet to finish in the top 10, but hoping to bring this year's momentum from the south with him to get a good finish this weekend.
So as soon as everybody gets lined up, and J.B. Fortin is the final car, as soon as we get the word from our NASCAR officials, we will bring you the starting lineup for what is a New England tradition. As the first robin means that there is spring for most people, for race fans, it is the Icebreaker, and we are ready for the crown jewel of the Icebreaker, and that will be the Icebreaker 150. So we will head to Dave Barabal eventually, but first we will have the starting lineup. And now let's meet the drivers, the best in the Northeast, for today's Icebreaker 150.
Starting in the 28th position is car number 34, the Johns Tree Removal Discount Les Pool entry for J.B. Fortin.
Then starting 27th in the field in car number 01 in the TBD Chevrolet, here is Melissa Fifield.
Starting 26th, the Performance Engines Kendall Oil Chevrolet number 33 for Wade Cole.
Then it will be car number 18 in the Buoy One Seafood Chevrolet, here is Ken Hagee.
24th starting spot goes to the RaceChoice.com Chevrolet for Sam Ramo.
Then it will be car number 25, a former Rookie of the Year in the Power with Prestige Cruising with Betty Chevrolet, here is Calvin Carroll.
22nd starting spot goes to the number 45, the Catalano Motorsports Chevrolet for Timmy Catalano.
Starting 21st in the field in the Atlantic Sprinkler Chevrolet, here is Blake Barney.
20th starting spot goes to the 24, the Supreme Manufacturing Chevrolet for Andrew Krause.
Then it will be the 19th starter aboard car number 58, known as the Wolverine because of his allegiance to Michigan football in the GAF Roofing Chevrolet. Here is Eric Goodale.
18th starting spot goes to the number 16, the RB Enterprises Ford. It's Timmy Solomito.
This driver has landed 2 podiums in 2 races in the Gershow Recycling, Blewett Recycling Chevrolet. Car number 21 for Showtime, Jimmy Blewett.
16th starting spot goes to the Horton Avenue Materials Chevrolet, number 82, Woody Pitcat.
One of the strongest drivers from Long Island will be in car number 36 in the SAP Enterprises Chevrolet. Here is Dave Sapienza.
Starting 14th is the Nocella Paving Airgas A&D Associates Chevrolet, number 92 for Anthony Nocella.
One of the most accomplished drivers in the Northeast will be starting 13th aboard car number 7. His sponsor, the Ultra Real Chevrolet. Here is John McKennedy.
Starting in the 12th spot, the number 3, the Cape Cod Copper. Wow Media USNE Chevrolet for Matt Swanson.
Starting 11th in the field will be the Lutz Cracker in car number 46. The sponsor, Riverhead Building Supply. The driver from Miller Place, Long Island, Craig Lutz.
Now into the top 10, and starting in the 10th spot, the Think Light 1540 Connection Chevrolet, number 15 for Kyle Benjamin.
He was a winner last week in South Boston in car number 85, the first win ever for car owner Kevin Stewart. He is driving the Stewart's Automotive Chevrolet, car number 85, driven by Ron Silk.
Starting 8th is the Vestal Buick GMC Chevrolet, the multi-time Southern Modified champion in car number 1, Burt Myers.
Our next driver, known as the Rocket, starting in 7th in the Hoosier Tire East and Fast Track Chevrolet, car number 64, driven by Rob Summers.
Starting 6th is the Dolly's Collision and Custom Chevrolet number 75 for Chris Pastriak.
A winner at Bristol in the past in car number 07. He is in the Saline Chevrolet. The driver, Patrick Emmerling.
The 4th starting spot goes to the number 54, the Catalano Motorsports Chevrolet for Tommy Catalano.
This driver got the first win of his modified career last fall at the Stafford Fall Final. He's sitting in car number 22 this afternoon in the Dunleavy's Truck Repair and Chalou Performance Chevrolet. Here is Kyle Bonsignor.
Starting in the 2nd spot, the defending champion of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour aboard the Phoenix Communications Chevrolet, car number 51, Justin Bonsignor.
And the man who will be starting on the pole, a 5-time Whelen Tour champion in the Mayhew Tools, Reynolds Auto Wrecking, A.J. Romano Chevrolet, Doug Kobe. And there is our talented field, ready to go 150 laps. Whenever you're ready, we'll send it down for start your engines. So in a moment, we'll be sending it to Dave Barabald. And we have a very special Grand Marshals today, the family of Phil Kerr. So let's go to Dave Barabald.
Are we ready? Let's go.
Drivers, start your engines!
I think that was a great send-off, Matt. Let's go racing.
Yeah, and we have to thank the Kerrs family, and we miss Phil, and I think nobody would have got a bigger kick out of that driver start your engines than Phil. So I'm sure he is smiling, and we're smiling, but it's about to get serious here. 150 laps. Pete Falcone, your thoughts before we go to green.
Well, we've talked all weekend about the fact that a decent starting spot can get you to the front end of victory lane. Most of our recent winners have come within the top 10 starting positions, but pit stops make a difference. You don't want to use up the car getting to the front only to be kicked back with a bad pit stop. So it'll be interesting to see when they go in to change tires on pit road, who's got the fastest crew to get them back out there.
Remember, the drivers are entitled to change 4 tires. So that is a procedure there. And you could keep an eye on the white number 21, Jimmy Blewett. He said he might be thinking of short pitting. That means you'll be pitting early for track position and then hope your tires last for the rest of the race. So that could be some of the strategy used today. Working pit road for us, it'll be Dave Barabald. And let's check in with Dave for his thoughts before we fire things up.
Well, Matt, during the pit party, I talked to a few of the drivers, and one of them I did talk to was Doug Kobe, the man who sits at the point. I asked him, is there anything you can bring back from South Boston and Myrtle Beach? He said, only that we're home. We're on a new shock package, but we're home to a track that we have a lot of confidence on. We ran well down there. He's looking to run well today. Another driver I talked to, Burt Myers, was 4 on the charts yesterday. Looking for a strong run here at Thompson as we get ready for 150 laps here for the Icebreaker.
Well, Bert was talking to Pete at the fan appreciation party, and he said how much he loved Thompson, and that's why he has decided to come here. And Doug Colby, one thing his 5 championships have in common, he wrapped them all up here at Thompson. So this track has been very kind to Doug Colby, and maybe today it'll be kind to Burt Myers.
Well, Kobe comes in, of course, with the point lead, and when he says he's glad to be home, he certainly means it when he talks about Thompson Speedway. And somebody who knows Southern hospitality is Burt Myers, as we mentioned, the multi-time Southern Modified champ and multi-time winner at the Bowman Gray Stadium. But when he can compliment the fans and the management and the racetrack as he does, you know we got a good thing going here at Thompson Speedway.
And the hottest driver at Thompson, Justin Bonsignor, who swept the table last year, winning all 4 tour races here. And he said before, going 5 for 5, he thinks the odds might be stacked against him today. But then he found out that Brian Narducci won 5 straight light modified races. He said, well, maybe that is a good number. So he is ready to go. He has said he has been fast all year. He has not been lucky. But there is no lack of confidence in the driver of car number 51. One of the guys he has to be concerned about, the driver of car number 22, Kyle Bonsignor. You know, the old cliche in racing, the hardest win to get is your first one, and then they start coming easier after that. Well, Kyle got his first win at the fall final on the last weekend in September a year ago. He will be tough to beat. And a guy, Tommy Catalano, starting 4th. Patrick Emmerling right behind him. Patrick Emmerling was another one of those guys who was knocking on the door for a long time. The door finally opened, and he has been one of the most successful drivers since. So we are ready to go on the pace laps, and then we will be ready to raise the green flag. And I think everybody's heart is beating a little faster right now, Pete, because there is no more electrifying way to start the season than with the Icebreaker.
For sure. As we were running down the lineup and some of those cars out there, don't count out Chris Pastriak. That's a new LFR chassis for them this year. Now that they've committed to run the entire tour with that family operation, he had a good run in practice yesterday and qualified well. In fact, Chris Pastriak starts in the 6th spot, so he'll be one to watch in that number 75, another one that considers this kind of his home track.
And Ron Selk in car number 85. I think he could be put in that same category, as he raced there a few times in the early part of his career. And he won his championship, clinching it at Thompson. So a former champion. If you are looking for a dark horse, who could that be? Well, I think maybe Matt Swanson in car number 3. He has to start from the middle of the pack in 13th or in 12th position, but he has a mindset and he has the experience at Thompson.
Well, the guy who's looking to make up some ground from last year is John McKennedy in that beautiful number 7, won the Best Appearing Car Award today of the Whelen Modifieds, and he certainly would like to get back to the front, as he just missed it last year.
And you look at Craig Lutz, John McKennedy, maybe another dark horse. A lot of people on his crew were very confident in his capability. Anthony Nacella, who was a winner in the Valente Modified Tour a couple of years ago. Last year, he was the owner's champion on the Valente Tour. So this year could be his year. And now, we want everybody to show how much you appreciate these competitors in the Whelen Modified Tour and their efforts and their crews. When they come around this time, we want everybody on their feet. Wave whatever you have, your hat, your next door neighbor, whatever is near you. Show these drivers how much you appreciate their skill and their talent. Let's give these guys a rousing send-off.
These are the stars and cars of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and certainly a very special view here at Thompson. They'll be back 3 more times in 2019, but to set the scene in this one, always the big one, the Icebreaker of 2019 here at Thompson.
So the drama is ready to unfold. You see 28 of the best drivers in the Northeast ready to duke it out for 150 laps. And at the end, only one will be Icebreaker champion. So as they go into turn number 3, we have been happy to have this voice with us all weekend long, Pete Falcone.
Pace car is off, peels onto pit road. Bob Slade, the starter, looks over the field as they make their way out of turn 4, and the green flag goes in the air. The Icebreaker Whelen Modified Tour race is underway.
And Doug Kobe gets a jump on Bonsignor. Bonsignor has some company at the front. Look at Pastriak in car number 75. He's already up to the top 3.
Yeah, he's got a good run going up there on the outside. Just barely gets touched as Kyle Bonsignor skids all over the racetrack there with the fourth turn, gathers it back up. Pastriak's able to get away from him and hook onto Bonsignor for the 3rd spot.
Kyle Bonsignor drops back. It is Meyer in the number 4 position. Justin Bonsignor in 2nd. Some double file action deeper in the field. Ronnie Silk losing some ground. Nasello able to get by him on the outside.
Leader is Doug Kobe, and he's got it by 5 car lengths on the backstretch over Justin Bonsignor. Pastriak is 3rd. Bert Myers is 4th as they race off that 4th turn and down across the stripe to complete 3 laps.
Trying to make a move. That is Patrick Everling in the 07. He is inside Kyle Bonsignor, and he picks up the position. A pretty good slingshot move by Everling.
Give a call to Kyle Benjamin in the number 15, who's also got a good run going as well as he makes his way across the stripe.
John McKennedy tried to stick it underneath Woody Pitcat. It didn't work. He faded backwards and now has to worry about Timmy Salamito. Salamito is currently running 15th.
Here's a move by the number 3 of Matt Swanson, working the bottom of Rob Summers out of turn 4. Makes the pass and picks up the spot right behind the 22 of Bonsignor.
Boy, that was a pretty daring move by Swanson, but he moves up into 8th place. Right behind him is Summers. Up at the front, Doug Kobe. You remember, you get 1 point for leading a lap. You get 1 point for leading the most laps. And Kobe wants to stockpile those points. Meyer in 4th, 1 notch ahead, or 1 notch behind Pastriak. A little deeper in the field, we see that a car driven by Blewett trying to make a move as it approaches the back bumper of Kraus.
Just in front of him, the number 7 made his way around McKennedy, got around Timmy Salamito. Salamito, the back end of that car just kind of washed out on him a little bit, and that was able McKennedy to make the move and pick up a spot outside the top 10, but still trying to make a march towards the front.
Calvin Carroll with a good side-by-side battle against Kraus, so we'll see if he can pick up a spot. That is Blake Barney in car number 41. Timmy Cataldo is behind them. And up at the front, Kobe stretching out his lead to about a furlong over Justin Bonsignor. Still some heated action a little deeper. Ronnie Silk battling with Rob Summers. And Silk heading into turn number 3. Let's see if he has enough go power to get underneath Summers.
And they're side by side, just barely touched through that 3rd and 4th turn. Silk trying to put the moves on Summers as again he continues to work the inside just ahead of him, making a pass down on the bottom, getting around the 92 of Nocella. Craig Lutz picks up a spot around Nocella. Now Silk is able to clear Rob Summers, and he picks up that spot.
What making it look easy was the Lutz cracker as he got underneath Matt Swanson. Now Summers loses another position as getting by him is Dave Sapienza in car number 36. Nothing has changed at the front of the field. It is still Doug Kobe, but there is some intense action a little deeper. And Nocella tries to shake free from Salamito. That is Goodale. He is right there with Calvin Carroll. So very close racing from about 8th place on back.
And just in front of that is Matt Swanson, all over the back of Kyle Bonsignor trying to make the pass. Looks to the bottom on the backstretch as they race down into turn 3. That's Swanson on the back bumper of Bonsignor. He'll do it again. Cuts it way down low out of turn number 4. And races side by side with him into 3, makes the pass, and slides right back up in front of him. While the door's open, Greg Lutz will take a look at it. Down
And it's a pretty big door.
Yeah, trying to make that pass on Kyle Bonsignor, and does.
He does. As Bonsignor went high in the corner, and it cost him a couple of positions. Silk doing his best to hold off Nacella. That is a battle for 10th place. So Ronnie Silk has that. You get the feeling Matt Swanson, the race really hasn't started for him yet. He likes to wait until the end, but he is doing a pretty good job running in the top 7.
Leaders have set a torrid pace as Doug Kobe has gotten out to a comfortable lead, but Justin Bonsignor keeping him honest because he is only about 4.5 car lengths back, and those two have driven away from the 3rd place runner, Chris Pastriak, in the 75.
Patrick Emmerling ready to go to work in car number 07 as he is on the attack mode. So he is trying to get by Kyle Benjamin in that number 15 car. Has some good bite coming out of turn number 4, but not enough bite to gobble up Benjamin. And somewhere out there is Doug Kobe with an impressive lead over Bonsignor by about the lead of a school bus. Now Emmerling going to work. Benjamin in the 15. And once again, he came close, but Benjamin just had too much authority coming off the corner.
Yeah, but Emmerling is hanging right there, waiting for maybe a slight misstep from Benjamin and an opportunity to drive underneath him. He'll try it again going into turn 3 and thinks better of that. Pulls right up on the back bumper of Benjamin. That battle continues as they go across the stripe. And while they fight each other, Matt Swanson is closing right in on them, and he's bringing Craig Lutz with him.
Yeah, Lutz has become a factor again. He is 8th, Swanson in 7th place. And Emmerling is not giving up, but he just doesn't have enough giddy up to get by Benjamin. Matt Swanson, his normal smooth run. And 10th place, Anthony Nacella. And here comes Woody Pitcat in the area in the orange number 82 car. He has some stamina coming down the backstretch. Look at the tomahawk. Woody Pitcat trying to get under Nacella. He came out of nowhere to make that battle interesting, and he just came a half a car length short.
And they've got some good cars behind him, too, as John McKennedy in the number 7 starts to close in on that battle. Meanwhile, in front of them is Patrick Emmerling putting
Made
the
the
moves
move
on Kyle Benjamin. Yeah, and he makes the pass on the inside while the door's open. Here comes Matt Swanson in the number 3, about to drive underneath Benjamin as well. Caution flag is out. Trouble up in the 3rd and 4th turn.
And Rob Summers is pinned up against the wall in the middle of the corner. Calvin Carroll was one of the cars involved, but Rob Summers has brought out the first caution on lap number 23, and he is trying to move the car off the high banking. So the 24th lap has been completed. Unlike our weekly features, the yellow flag laps do count on the Whelen Modified Tour. So Summers is off of the banking, and now he is bringing that car into the paddock area. Not the luckiest weekend for Rob Summers. The car has been fast when it's been healthy, but it has been a trick keeping it healthy. Doug Kobe is our leader with Bonsignor in 2nd, and in 3rd, Chris Pastriak, one of the unsung heroes of this race so far. It'll be Wade Cole in the 33 getting the free pass, so he will be back on the lead lap. We are about to finish 25 laps, and Doug Kobe has been the dominating factor ever since we started. And I think at this stage of the race, Pete, you only go into pit if your car is not working correctly and you have to make an improvement. It's too early to short pit as J.B. Fortin comes in. So I think the cars we see come in are cars that need to be freshened up.
lot of radio chatter amongst the teams out there because they're getting reports from the drivers now that they can stop and catch a breath, reporting what the cars are doing so they can plan on their strategy.
It looks like Eric Goodale is going to be coming in, and that is one of the cars he is currently running near the middle of the pack, 15th. So they want to make some adjustments. We'll wait and see.
Got a few teams up on the wall, whether they're actually going to take advantage of this caution or not, just standing by in case something needs to be done last minute. But nonetheless, reports back to the pit area on how the cars are running and what adjustments they may look forward to later in the race.
Now there's a gentleman standing by the golf cart about 3/4 of a way down the backstretch. He has the flag. Right now the pits are closed. You see the red flag. So the pit area is not open yet. Well, and when we see the green flag, then we might see a few guys come in to make some alterations.
The entrance to the pits are blocked because they're having to put the hook on Rob Summers, number 64, right at where the cars would enter pit road. So until they get that cleared up, the pits will remain closed, and we remain under caution.
Yeah, you talk about the door being open a few times today. This time, there is no door. It is a log jam, and now the 64 is being moved by our wrecker. And let's see if the green flag comes out. I think that'll be the case. And there it is. So the pits are open, and we see who will go in. Our pit reporter is Dave Barabald, and he will keep us updated on what changes are being made. But I think the top 12 or so should be very well secure in their positions, and we'll see who the gamblers are to make an early pit stop.
Tough break for the 64 crew. That's the second time this weekend that car's gone off on the hook. We mentioned earlier that he had pretty good contact with the wall during practice, the early practice yesterday. They took most of the rest of that practice and the first 3/4 of the second practice to get it repaired. Came out and got a few laps in anyway.
Eric Goodale is the first to go in, followed by Jimmy Blewett. So we figured Goodale would go in. Blewett looking to get faster. And right behind him, Kyle Bonsignor, Timmy Salamito, Blake Barney, Sammy Ramo, Calvin Carroll, J.B. Fortin, Ken Hagee, and one more other driver at the far end of the pit stop. So we'll see what's going on. Tire changes for Eric Goodale. Remember, drivers can change 4 tires during the course of the race. They don't have to do it all at once. And he will be out. Eric Goodale, Salamito out, Jimmy Blewett out, and Sammy Ramo out as we go to Dave Baraball.
Well, I'm caught up with Stash Patova. Stash, what's the game plan on Jimmy Blewett?
We've been doing the same thing we've been doing when we got those last 2 podiums. Just getting the car where we want it to drive good and early and come in for tires later and see what the heck happens.
The 21 in early. We're going to see how that change makes her run.
Well, Stash Patova is one of the best mid-race adjusters on the tour. Has been with a lot of teams, has won a lot of weekly championships. So that's been the one addition to the Petruccio team this year, is to add Stash Patova as crew chief. And he has helped Jimmy get a pair of third-place finishes. So it is Doug Colby, the leader, and he has picked the outside in which to restart, something that he always does. And I think the feel-good story of this race so far has been the performance of Chris Pastriak running third. We get ready to restart the race. It'll be lap 30 when we go back to green.
And that green is in the air. Colby and Bonsignor side by side down into turn 1, but Bonsignor will tuck it up behind Colby to race with him through the first and second turn. Burt Myers gets a great run out of turn 2, drives around the outside of Chris Pastriak to take the third spot.
He uses the outside advantage to get by the 75 car. Now working on the outside, that is Kyle Benjamin. And Benjamin, he is able to blockbuster his way around Emmerling and Kyle Benjamin is in the top 5.
Yeah, Benjamin had been slipping just a little bit before that caution flag came out, but enough time to cool the tires, and he's back with his strong run. He'll follow Chris Pastriak around as Benjamin will round out the top 5.
And Matt Swanson tried to make something happen on the bottom. He couldn't. Let's see if Woody Pitkat can, as he is dead even with McKennedy as they approach turn number 3. So Woody Pitkat taking a gamble on the inside groove, and he is embroidered on the fire suit of McKennedy as they go into the second corner.
And Pitkat's going to get stuck down there for a while because he's got a couple of more cars up on that outside groove. Dave Sapienza right on the back bumper of McKennedy, so there'll be no chance for Woody to get up in front of any of those cars and get back in the top line. So he's hanging tough on the bottom, side by side with McKennedy.
Well, Matt Swanson just made a slick move to get back on the outside groove. So right now, Matt Swanson is 10th. Andrew Kraus trying to make something happen on the bottom, getting halfway underneath McKennedy. The number 24 car right behind him is Jimmy Blewett. It didn't take Blewett long to get back into prominence.
Yeah, Blewett after that pit stop, he's rocketing back to the front. Look at him walk right by John McKennedy on the backstretch as he just dove underneath him and makes the pass going into turn 3. He'll slide up in front of him as they come out of turn 4 to pick up that spot. McKennedy, not the kind of run he was hoping for this afternoon.
Nacella got a little loose as Silk got underneath him in turn 4, but he's able to make a pretty good recovery. Anthony Nacella in 8th place. Our leader, Doug Colby, a forearm shiver to the back bumper of the 92 car administered by Ron Silk. So some Woody Woodpecker action there, but the feathers are not ruffled for Anthony Nacella. Look at Silk go underneath with a dive bomb move.
Yeah, Silk tried to make that move but couldn't make it stick, and Nacella races right back. He'll try it again here in turn 3, just enough, but does not clear him. Now he does. Boy, he needed a little extra boost in the middle of the turn to clear him and get up in front of him. So Silk picks up another spot.
Now complicating matters, here's Woody Pitkat down low against Nacella. Kraus is right behind him. Woody has run quite a few laps on the bottom groove as he pushes Nacella up, trying to make some room for himself. That time the door was open because Woody Pitkat banged it down.
Boy, that is a traffic jam right there. Pitkat, Nacella, Kraus, Blewett, and Matt Swanson all running together as they head down into turn 3.
Jimmy Blewett must have made some pretty good adjustments on that car. I think Stash Matova had a magic wand instead of an air wrench. Here comes Blewett underneath Nacella. He picks up the position and is taking Matt Swanson with him.
Yeah, Swanson gains another spot as he gets around Nacella and will follow Jimmy Blewett along as they've got some ground to make up if they're going to get to the front, because the leaders once again have checked out in the names of Doug Colby and Justin Bonsignor. Pretty much the same distance between them as there was before the caution flag, but they are almost a half a straightaway ahead of Burt Myers, who runs in the 3rd spot.
As they are leading by the length of a cow pasture over the number 3 car, Burt Myers making things happen. Woody Pitkat back end almost wiggled on him. Andrew Kraus right behind him. Then we have Blewett, followed by Swanson and Nacella. So the intensity is about 8th place on back, and that's where the hard-nosed racing is happening. And there is Kraus trying to go underneath Pitkat, and he was denied.
Ronnie Silk on the backstretch, trying to make something happen down on the inside again. He'll look to the bottom as they race side by side. Craig Lutz doing a great job of holding him off, but Silk is pounding his way in there and finally does make the pass and is able to slide up in front of him. So pick up another spot for Ron Silk.
Yeah, he was able to barnstorm his way underneath the 46 car. A pretty nifty move by Ron Silk. Kraus trying to make the same move against Pitkat. That is for 10th place. So Kraus trying to get into the top 10, but Woody Pitkat has the veto power.
Yeah, Pitkat's able to pull him down the straightaway, and Kraus will just follow him into turn number 3. Right behind them, Jimmy Blewett and Matt Swanson also looking to advance.
Now remember, Eric Goodale made a pit stop, changed some rubber, and he got very easily by Anthony Nacella. trying to do the same thing. Dave Sapienza in car number 36. Also a man on a mission is Sammy Ramo, currently running 18th in our 28-car field. But right now, nobody has had a clue of how to stop Doug Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe continues his fierce pace coming out of turn 4 right now, and Bonsignor has kept the same distance as both of them, as we mentioned before, have pulled away from the rest of the field. Bonsignor, we can't say stays within striking distance because he's a good 6, maybe even 7 car lengths back, but at least he's not letting Kobe get totally away.
And Kobe a little faster, but not much. On the last lap, he was just 4/100ths of a second faster than Bonsignor. So right now, those cars are running pretty equally. Ken Hagee, he is the target, a sitting duck. Kobe goes by him. Now here is Bonsignor, and Bonsignor is going to fire a cracker his way past the number 18 car of Hagee. So it is Doug Kobe who has led every step of the way so far. 1/3 of the race has been completed. A little deeper in the field, we see Emmerling. He has to pay attention to Ron Silk in car number 85. Craig Lutz is behind them. So it is Emmerling in 6th place, and that position could be in jeopardy in the next few laps.
Yeah, Ron Silk has really picked up the pace here. Several laps after that restart, got around a number of cars to get to the position that he is right now, and right up on the back bumper of Patrick Emmerling. That's a good battle. Emmerling protects the bottom through the third and fourth turn, and Silk just can't find the running room to get up beside him.
Power move, Jimmy Blewett getting underneath Pitcat. So Blewett climbs into the number 9 position, and that was vintage showtime right there as he was able to cannonball his way underneath Pitcat. Ken Hagee is on pit row. Here comes Kobe. He has to navigate his way around J.B. Fortin, and he does, but Bonsignor has used that to his advantage. He is caught up. So Kobe with a little difficulty getting by Fortin, and Bonsignor trying to cash in.
Yeah, Bonsignor took real advantage of that as Kobe had to hesitate just a second to get around that lap car. But just like that, Kobe's able to drive away and open it up by 4 car lengths once again.
And a good job of threading the needle by Burt Meyer. There were lap traffic in front of him as Cole goes sideways, but Meyer goes by him. And as they gangbuster their way into the second corner, Chris Pastriak has narrowed the gap that separates him from Meyer.
Yeah, that's turning out to be a good battle for third. Meyer had gotten around Pastriak on the restart. Now Pastriak trying to come back as he's within a length of Meyer in the race for that position. All by himself is Kyle Benjamin. Benjamin running in the 5th spot. And then Ron Silk starts to pull away from Craig Lutz.
And Jimmy Blewett starting to lean on the back bumper of the Patrick Emmerling car. Showtime. They made one adjustment. They will make another pit stop for tires. But right now, trying to blow by that number 07. Jimmy Blewett, and Emmerling is holding him off for the time being. But Blewett, he might see a little daylight on the bottom groove, and he will try to take that to the cash register.
Yeah, he's right there on the back bumper of Patrick Emmerling. They got a lap car down on the bottom, the 45 and Timmy Catalano in the way so that Blewett can't make the move then, but now he's looking for it out of turn 2.
And it looks like he might have it as they are able to rumble their way into the third quarter, and Jimmy Blewett is now in 8th place. So he has come from the rear of the field to be in the top 8. Best battle was between Meyer and Pastriak, and now Meyer with a little bit of breathing room. But Pastriak, he was close enough to wipe the sweat off his brow. Doing a great job in car number 75, looking for his 3rd consecutive top 10 finish.
Yeah, he was there a little while ago, but we see that 75 kind of wash up the racetrack a little bit when he's in the turn, and when he does that, he loses ground on Meyer. So that could be an issue as far as the handling goes on that number 75, though he still remains about 3 car lengths, call it 4, behind him.
And Bonsignor continues to put the pressure on Doug Kobe. Now double file lap cars in front of Kobe. This could be hair-raising. as Kobe had nowhere to go momentarily. Now Melissa Fifield drops down, and he gets by her, and he gets by Carol. But that was a little difficult, probably more difficult than it needed to be for Doug Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe had to wait a second before he could get back in the throttle coming out of the turn because those lap cars were side by side. But once Carol cleared Fifield, then Kobe just rocketed on by.
Here is Pasriak. Almost got close enough to shake hands with Burt Myers. He is close enough to do chin-ups on the spoiler of that number 1 car, but not close enough to get by. Here is Blewett. And Blewett makes another power move as to get by a lap car. The man in front of him is Craig Lutz running 7th. So Jimmy Blewett, one of the fastest bullets in the chamber since he made that pit stop on lap number 23.
The leaders are going to run into some fairly heavy traffic here in a couple of laps, even though we're talking about the 19th spot, 18th, 19th is the cars that they'll be putting down a lap. Rob Summers has gotten back out there after some repairs behind the wall, but he's in danger of going yet another lap down as Kobe starts to close on him. But there will be some tough traffic to cut through here within the next few laps.
Yeah, Rob Summers is 45 laps down. So that or 25 laps down. So that is still a lot to make up. Here comes Blewett on the back stretch, but he still trails Craig Lutz by a considerable margin. Up at the front, Doug Kobe gets by Summers. Now he will be attacking the 18 of Hagee. 67 laps have been completed, so we are approaching the halfway point of this race. And only 1 caution flag. And we are getting to the point of the race, Pete, where and the next caution flag, maybe all of the front runners will be coming in.
Well, we got a pretty good battle just inside the top 10. Woody Pitkat, Patrick Emmerling, and Matt Swanson. They've been mixing it up. Now they've gone nose to tail as they race down the backstretch. Pitkat and Emmerling were side by side, and Matt Swanson was trying to make some sort of a move out of that. Now he'll go to work on Emmerling, looking to the bottom of the racetrack, but can't make the pass that time around. And again, just inside the top 10.
And now Swanson goes to the outside. He changes his compass, goes from inside to outside, and he still can't get by Emmerling. You wonder how much tire that Swanson has left because he spent a lot of time on the inside groove, and usually the more you run on the bottom, the more risk you take of burning up your tires. Pasriak, he won't let Burt Meyer relax as he is all over him like dimples on a golf ball as they head into the second turn. What a job by Pasriak today to hang tough with Burt Myers.
Well, Doug Kobe's gotten into that traffic that we talked about. He put some distance between himself and Justin Bonsignor, probably in anticipation of having to pick his way through the back markers, and now he's doing that. They got around Melissa Fifield again, and Kobe is closing on Blake Barney, the number 14. Barney currently running in the 21st position, so Kobe now putting some of the cars in the top 20 down a lap. And he's got to work his way through because Barney is out there competing for position, and Kobe's closing on him fast.
Yeah, Barney is on the back bumper of the Tommy Catalano car. Also in that battle is Timmy Salamito in the 16. As Salamito, we have yet to see the Timmy Salamito that we used to know. Going up to the high side is Kobe, and he is able to buzzsaw his way around the 14 car. Now he napalms his way around Catalano. Now does Bonsignor have the same luck? It looks like he might be bogged down behind the 14 of Barney.
Well, respect for those leaders as they're trying to get out of the way anyway. Bonsignor has decided to try the inside of Blake Barney, the now lapped car, as Barney had pulled up alongside Catalano to battle with him and finally got out of the way because he knew that the second place car was coming.
Now, Justin Bonsignor has enough confidence in his pit crew. If he can stay close enough to Kobe, he thinks maybe he can beat him off pit road when the next yellow comes out. We're in the second half of the race. Kobe has led every step of the way so far. Now a buffer, Timmy Salamito, down a lap between Kobe and Bonsignor. Now what about the battle between Meyer and Pastriak? It has been the same. A little bit of an edge for Myers, but not enough that he can relax. In the number 5 position, Kyle Benjamin. Ronnie Silk right behind him in the 85 for 6. Lutz 7th, Lewis 8th, Pitcat 9th, Patrick Emmerling is 10th.
Right behind him is Matt Swanson. Swanson's been hounding him for a number of laps, trying to break into the top 10 in that number 3. Those 3 have been running together and duking it out for several laps in a row.
Here comes Craig Lutz getting close to the 85 of Ron Silk. Remember, Silk got by him about 10 laps ago, and now Lutz will be trying to pay him back, but it is Silk by the length of a popsicle stick over Craig Lutz. And Meyer has a car in front of him, J.B. Fortin. That could slow him down a little, but Meyer is able to handle it. Pastriak had a little room on the inside, but couldn't get there fast enough to take advantage of it.
Pretty good battle going down into turn 1. It's Patrick Emmerling working the bottom of Woody Pitcat. They're coming up on lap traffic. Let's see if that plays a part. And Emmerling is able to squeeze between the lap car and still keep his nose underneath Woody Pitcat. Matt Swanson is right there waiting for something to happen as well. Emmerling again still tries the bottom of Woody Pitcat but can't make the pass.
Boy, that was a pretty good move by Emmerling as he got under Timmy Salamito. Trouble for Andrew Krause as that car is limping into turn number 1. We are on lap number 82. We'll see what Krause can do.
Yeah, heavy smoke off the back of that car, too. Hopefully he's not putting down any fluid. He is at speed, however, and is going to make his way onto pit road. So whatever it is, it's not enough to shut the engine off, and he's able to make it back onto pit road, and we stay green.
Sometimes where there's smoke, there's liquid, but apparently that isn't the case, so we stay under green. Krause has had to make some good moves today, but not enough of them. Now it is Kyle Bonsignor who has lost a lap as Kobe's gotten by him. Justin Bonsignor, he has Nacella in front of him, John McKennedy behind him. Neither one of those cars are on the lead lap as we have 14 cars or 15 cars on the lead lap. The last car on the lead is
Should be Dave Sapienza.
Yeah, Sapienza, the last car on the lead lap.
And Kobe's got almost a half a straightaway to catch him. Bonsignor had his hands full getting around John McKennedy and Anthony Nocella to put them a lap behind. So he's lost a lot of ground on Kobe.
And Justin Bonsignor is no longer within striking distance of that number 2 car. We look a little deeper. It is still Meyer with the edge over Pastriak. Then it is Kyle Benjamin, and Lutz has gotten by Ronnie Silk. So Craig Lutz is now a top 6 car. Silk is 7th. Jimmy Blewett has been 8th for a while. Then it's Pitcat, and rounding out the top 10, Patrick Emmerling. Let's check out the 2 of Kobe. Right now, there is nobody around him, and that will make Doug pretty happy.
Yeah, that best race on the track right now is 9th, 10th, 11th, Woody Pitcat, Patrick Emmerling, and the 3 of Matt Swanson. They have all been running together and running hard as they head off the second turn and down the backstretch. Emmerling had tried a couple of times to get underneath Pitcat, couldn't make it work. Now they've got to pick their way through some of those lap cars as they work out of turn 4.
Wonder if Pastriak is getting a little frustrated because he is close enough to carve his initials in the back bumper of the Burt Meyer car, but he cannot get by him, and he has tried for about the last 50 laps. Woody Pitcat has some breathing room between himself and Emmerling. Matt Swanson has been in 11th the last few laps, and Sammy Ramo, one of the 3 rookies in the field, has moved up to 12th, and he might have something for Swanson as they head into the third corner.
91 laps complete. Doug Kobe has led it from the beginning, and he's got his most healthy lead of the afternoon right now as he makes his way out of turn 4 to click off 92 laps and on his way to put Dave Sapienza down a lap.
And Melissa Fifield is on pit road. We have gone 59 laps without a caution. The only one in the race coming on lap number 23. Eric Goodale, remember he made a pit stop, made at least one tire change, but he is having a hard time getting by Ramo as he is able to thunder his way on the inside. Lutz continues to be sixth, and he's pulling away from Ronnie Silk. It took him a long time to get past him, but once he did, he has been able to dominate that number 85 car.
That race for third is heated up a little bit. Chris Pastriak, as you mentioned, could almost carve his initials in Burt Meyer's back bumper.
You like that line,
yeah,
Pete?
That's a good one. And he stays right with him as they race through the first and second turn. He actually took a look a lap and a half ago and thought that he might be able to stick the nose underneath, but just didn't have enough. There he is again with a run right up on the back of Myers, but cannot make the pass.
Yeah, looks like Pastriak is pretty good in turn number 3. Maybe even better in turn number 1 as he makes a bottom shot move against Meyer, but once again, it is not strong enough. Doug Colby, joyride time. He could have a picnic basket in that car, start eating the fried chicken because he has a sizable lead over Bonsignor. We are approaching the 2/3 mark to go in this race. Matt Swanson looking to make something happen against Emmerling, but he is stymied there. Woody Pitcat ahead of Emmerling in the orange number 82. So it is Colby, and he hasn't been approaching any lap traffic lately, but right now he is getting ready to figure out a way to get by Calvin Carroll.
This is a great race for third as they cross the stripe. A couple of times in the last couple of laps, Pastriak has taken a look down underneath Myers and just can't make it count.
And there's the yellow
caution
coming on lap number 99. So we see a car with heavy smoke, as that appears to be one of the Catalano cars that all of a sudden, like somebody put a carton of Marlboros in the back number. So that's Tommy Catalano, who was a car in distress. So when there's white owls in the exhaust, there is problems. And the caution comes on lap number 99.
Yeah,
now
100 right here.
And that means, will it be pit stop time? And I would imagine all of our front runners will be coming in. And many times during the Icebreaker, races can be won on pit road. And we'll see if Justin Bonsignor could use the luxury of a pit stop to try to be the first one out. Of course, remember, they get 4 tires, but they don't have to change 4. They can change as many as they want in one stop. So we'll see what the strategy is. Will somebody go for maybe 2 tires to get out quicker and get track position with only 50 laps to go? Well, Dave Barabald is standing by in pit road. Once again, you look at that golf cart, 2/3 of the way down the backstretch, and you see our official there right now, that the red flag with the X across it, that means the pits are closed. But I think they will be open in a hurry, Pete, and then the fun will begin.
Yeah, Dave Barabald's going to be busier than the ladies in the ice cream stand here this afternoon when those cars hit pit road, because we're going to get a whole lot of traffic down there at one time. This is the big chance with 101 laps complete. If you're going to make adjustments and change tires, you're going to want to do it now.
Okay, the green flag is out. Means pits are open, and who will take advantage? Doug Colby. He will be the first one on pit road, followed by Bonsignor. And here is Burt Myers, Pastriak. All of the cars on the lead lap, it looks, are going to be going on pit road. It'll be the second time around for Jimmy Blewett. And the pit cat is in the second time around for Goodale. So Doug Colby goes all the way down pit alley to get ready to change. And Dave Barabald, what do you see?
Well, I'm right here by the number 2 guys. They're changing the left rear. I'm going to have some words with Phil Moran in a few seconds once this pit stop gets through, and we'll be able to find out exactly what they did to the Mayhew Tools number 2.
And almost a carbon copy of what's going on in the 2 is happening to the 51, who's right behind him, and work on the right front of the number 3 of Matt Swanson. That's where they're going to work first, and the right rear, and already several cars down and away.
And Kobe beat Sponsor off of pit road, and that is very important. Let's go back to Dave Barrowball.
Well,
we gave him the 3 tires that, everybody's pretty much taking right now. So, we got a pretty good car. Hopefully no other adjustments, and we didn't screw it up for him. So
that
information
has
for you
happen. As Phil Moran, one of the best in the business.
Well, and he admits that he hopes they didn't make a change that'll change anything. So that's rare on that team. The Mayhew Tools team rarely will make a miscue in the pit area or give him the wrong tires. I'll tell you, the guy who, a couple of guys that benefited on that stop, Ron Silk, all the way up to 3rd, as he got out of the pits pretty quick, as did Eric Goodale in the 58. He will restart in the 4th spot.
And he was on the tail end of the lead lap.
And Chris Pastriak, who had been running 4th behind Burt Myers.
But I don't think Goodale made a 3-tire stop because they already changed tires 1 time. So he might have had the advantage. Ron Silk, however, that I think is a quality pit stop. I guess there's 2 sides to every pit stop. Side 1, to try to make your car better. Side 2, if your car is better, don't try and mess it up. And I think that was the Phil Moran theory. Remember, he has won quite a few championships with Kobe, and he also was a crew chief when Todd Zegedy won the modified title in 2003. So Dave Barrowball is going back to work.
And I'm here with Marty Edwards, who's on the Burt Myers team. Marty, can you tell us what the call was on Burt's machine?
Guess not.
Hopefully when we go to the end right here, we
No, that
Well, I guess the number 1 is under a cloud of secrecy.
see what we got.
A little breaking up out there. Couldn't quite get that whole report, but
Let's see if we can do a little bit better now, guys.
Tear. Tire.
Well, sometimes, Pete, those big war wagons interfere with our wireless signal, and I think that is the case there with the Burt Myers team. So maybe when Dave gets a moment, he can tell us what the crew chief said. Right now, it is Doug Kobe ready to get the free pass, the first car that is down a lap. That is Dave Sapienza. So Sapienza will be back on the lead lap, and when he is, we will have 14 cars on the lead lap with 44 laps to go.
let's go to Dave again.
Well, hopefully you guys can hear me this time. We had a little bit of a problem there. Talking to the team, they had to change some rear tires on the number 1 of Burt Myers. They changed the left front. They feel that those changes should get him back up through the field.
So he makes a 3-tire change, as Phil Moran pointed out. Most of the teams made 3-tire stops. And we will see if the rubber is kind to Doug Kobe, as his first set of tires was. Bonsignor in 2nd, Ronnie Silk in 3rd, Eric Goodale in 4th, Chris Pastriak 5th, Patrick Emmerling 6th, Burt Myers 7th, Matt Swanson 8th, Kyle Benjamin 9th, and Craig Lutz rounding out our top 10. Also on the lead lap, Sammy Ramo in 11th, Jimmy Blewett in 12th, Woody Pitcat in 13th, and in 14th is Dave Sapienza. Kyle Bonsignor is 1 lap down, the first car a lap down.
So when we get back to Green Flag Racing, we'll have just over 40 laps to go. It's like an entirely new race, if you will. Some issue on the backstretch with Doug Kobe.
As Doug Kobe slows down. So we'll see what the situation is there with Kobe. and Dave Barabalt might know.
Well, I'm here with Ryan Stone right now, crew chief of the Justin Bonsignor team. And what's Justin telling you about the 51?
We're pretty good right now. Glad to make it to that pit stop and get on our option tire, as is everybody out there. We'll see what happens. I don't know where the 2 went just now, but something's wrong with the 2. So it looks like we got the lead. So we'll see what happens here. It's been a great day here at Thompson. Thanks for everybody coming out, and see if we can't finish this thing off, get us an icebreaker win.
And Matt, we'll try to move down to the 2 team and see what's going on.
Well, what a dramatic plot development. As Doug Colby.
Yeah, we found out that, Matt, that he ran over the air hose on that pit stop and has been penalized. So Doug Colby will restart at the back for a pit violation.
And he only has 42 laps or less to make it up.
So with that miscue in the pits and
wow, what a costly
in the words
one.
of Phil Moran, we hope we didn't screw it up for him, but they, in a way, maybe they did. They didn't get the air hose out of the way in time, and what a tough break for Doug Colby.
And Doug Colby's so determined to get out of the pits before Justin Bonsignor, running over the air hose. I mean, Dave Barabalt is ready for a report.
That's exactly the case, Matt. I just talked to Phil Moran. Ran over the pit hose on pit road. Pit violation for Doug Colby.
I remember the last prominent driver to run over an air hose, and it cost him a big race. Dale Earnhardt in the 1990 Daytona 500, and Derek Cope went on to win. Right now, Ronnie Silk, he has the inside groove. Kyle Bonsignor, or Justin Bonsignor, has elected to go on the outside. Here comes Bonsignor. And Bonsignor has some firepower as he is able to blur his way into the lead for the first time today.
Yeah, first time with a new leader, and a tough break for Kyle.
Trouble deep back.
Yeah, Benjamin gets pushed way up the racetrack there in the first and second turn and is drop kicked back several spots. So tough break for him as he had a top 10 run going. But now Justin Bonsignor, the new leader. Silk is second. Eric Goodale runs third. And Chris Pastriak in the 4th spot.
Yeah, Eric Goodale was able to get by Pastriak to infiltrate the top 3. Jimmy Blewett making contact with Lutz. Can Lutz save it? A miraculous job by Lutz as he got body slammed by Blewett, and he lives to tell about it.
They're all jockeying for position here late in the race. 112 laps complete. Justin Bonsignor has got the lead, and it's by 4 car lengths over Ron Silk as they race down into turn 1.
Lutz going underneath Meyer. They come together. Meyer goes up to the ozone in turn number 2, and Lutz gets a spot. He is in the top 6.
He's been on a tear since the green flag came down.
And the car almost got torn up, too.
And Patrick Emmerling now taking a look down underneath Chris Pastriak as they race through the first and second turn. That's the battle for the 4th spot. Pastriak's able to pull him out of turn 2 and lead him down the backstretch.
Now Goodale trying to get close enough to Ron Silk to make a move, and he is unable to do it. There is a plethora of cars behind Woody Pitkat. Swanson is there. Kyle Bonsignor is there. Remember, he is a lap down, as well as the 16 of Salamito. But right now, Justin Bonsignor looks good. He is looking for his 5th consecutive Thompson victory.
Yeah, and he was been good all afternoon. Probably not as good as Doug Colby, but he catches a break here when Colby gets a pit penalty and is able to restart in the lead and has opened that lead up now to about 6 car lengths on the backstretch over Ronnie Silk.
Contact between Emmerling and Pastriak as Emmerling tried to open up a spot, was unsuccessful. Pete, who do you think the fastest car on the track is right now?
Well, it's got to be Justin Bonsignor with the way that he's leading, but then again, Doug Colby probably is turning some pretty fast laps, trying to make up some ground.
But the fastest laps, Craig Lutz in the 46. So he is the fastest bullet in the chamber right now, looking to go underneath Pastriak. Emmerling in front of him, and look at Lutz. He is even with Pastriak, and now goes by him like soda out of a shaken can.
Yeah, as he makes that pass and is able to pull up in front of him and get away pretty quick away from Pastriak. Both Emmerling and Lutz really on a tear down the backstretch. They are currently running 4th and 5th.
And Justin Bonsignor can look behind him and see a battle between Silk and Goodale. Eric Goodale wasn't a contender until that last pit stop, so I think the strategy of coming in early and making a tire change and then coming in late and making another one enabled Goodale to have a chance at a podium this afternoon.
Pretty good.
Swanson fighting with Pitcat. That is an intense battle. Here comes Swanson down low.
That's the race for the 8th spot with Pitcat and Swanson exchanging blows there through the first and second turn. Pitcat has got the position. Swanson right behind him, taking Jimmy Blewett, and a move by Kyle Bonsignor. Down underneath Blewett, skirts right by him to take the spot.
Let's see what Lutz can do against Emmerling as he gets in the shadow of his back bumper as they bullet their way into the corner. It is Lutz not gaining as much as he wants to. Pastriak holding off Meyer. Pitcat, a participant in that battle. Swanson going down low. He has been not bashful about going down low, but he couldn't get by Pitcat. Boy, it looks like Lutz, Pete, has almost caught the 07 of Emmerling.
Yes, that is a great battle for the 4th spot. Lutz is right there. You said he had the fastest lap not all that long ago.
And it is Lutz looking for leverage on the inside. Here comes Lutz making a power move as he blisters his way underneath Emmerling. He is almost there. They come off the corner, and that is too close to call. According to our scoring, it is still Emmerling in front, but for how much long? Lutz takes over.
Yeah, and Emmerling comes right back as Lutz made that pass and slid up in front of him. Emmerling made the move to come back down and try to pass him again on the inside, but the crossover didn't move, and Lutz is solidly in the position.
It is Bonsignor still in the penthouse. Silk, he trails by the length of a light pole in second. Then it's Goodale, and the drivers putting on a show are running 4th and 5th. Craig Lutz and Patrick Emmerling. Maybe a show can develop behind them between Pastriak and Meyer. Myers is on fire, trying to get underneath Pastriak.
That is the same battle that we had before the caution, back when they were racing for the 3rd spot. And here comes Burt Myers, side by side with Chris Pastriak down into turn 3. That is a great battle for position, and Myers is able to get it.
The momentum for Myers, and now he is in the top 6. Emmerling in 5th, Lutz in 4th, and Bonsignor goes by one of the slower cars, no problem for him. And Justin Bonsignor went by Sapienza. So, could this race be decided by an air hose? A little littering in the pit box, and we'll see if Bonsignor can take it to the bank.
Setting a pretty good pace. Ron Silk not quite in striking position. Silk has got a comfortable lead over Eric Goodale, who runs 3rd. But Silk just can't seem to close on Bonsignor. Bonsignor marches down into turn 3.
And here is Emmerling looking to pay back Craig Lutz for taking a position away from him and couldn't get serious enough to make the move. Matt Swanson having a good top 10 run. Doug Colby is all the way up to 8th. So Doug Colby still has 19 laps to go, and he is in 8th place, looking to get by the combination of Swanson and Myers.
Yeah, but Swanson cuts right down in front of him
Whoa.
as he tries to go to get around Burt Myers and almost took out Doug Colby when he did. Swanson made like a hard left turn in the middle of the turn to try and get around Myers, and Colby was just about to pounce underneath Swanson. That didn't work.
I don't think Swanson knew Colby was there. So Colby had to back off, and now Swanson side by side with Myers. That means there's no place for Colby to go. He has a fast race car. Now he gets around Swanson, and he's going after Myers. And if he does, Doug Colby will be in 6th place with 16 laps to go.
Yeah, he had to. Swanson had to hold up a minute because Dave Sapienza, the lap car, was there. Look at Colby. Drives by Myers like he's standing still to take up the spot, and now tears down the backstretch.
It looked like the tires of Meyer were made of cement. and Kobe was able to get by him. He is in 6th place, but he only has 15 laps left. And Justin Bonsignor, he is almost a half a speedway ahead of Kobe.
Yeah, Bonsignor with that length of a lead, and of course Kobe's got 3/4 of a straightaway to catch Patrick Emmerling, who's the next car in front of him.
But Doug Kobe, looking at the big picture, the more cars he can pass, the better he will stand as far as the championship is concerned. But right now, it's going to be very difficult for him to get somebody because Patrick Emmerling is about the length of a Tiger Woods drive in front of Kobe. And Bonsignor, he approaches J.B. Fortin, goes high. Fortin goes down low, giving him plenty of room, and there is no issue there for Bonsignor. Ronnie Silk, could he put on a late charge? There is still time with 12 laps to go, and Ronnie Silk has had many fantastic finishes here at Thompson.
He just can't seem to close that gap, though, as Bonsignor's got about an 8 to 10 car length lead over him. He comes across the stripe to complete 139 laps, and Silk is pretty much going to hope for a miracle if he's going to catch the 51 at this point.
But we still have 10 laps to go, and this isn't like football where you can kneel down and run out the clock. You have to race every lap. Goodale in 3rd. Then we have Lutz and Emmerling. That is the most interesting battle on the track. And Kobe, he is not giving up. So the 2 car has 10 laps left to try to gain a couple of positions.
Now, it would not be uncommon to have a really late race caution. This race has actually gone into overtime in the past. That would be to Kobe's advantage. But as the laps continue to wind down, we've got just 9 laps to go as the leader makes his way down into turn 3.
And he is still looking pretty strong. The last caution came out on lap number 99. We've only had 2 cautions in this race. Now, Goodale, an interesting battle. Timmy Catalano is in front of him, and Sapienza. Bonsignor takes a high road, going 3 wide against lap traffic. So that is a daredevil move, and it's going to work. He gets by Timmy Salamito, and he is able to steer clear of the lap traffic. But that wasn't easy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he carried a lot of momentum into that turn, and he had no choice but to go 3 wide to get around those lap cars. Otherwise, he really would have had to jam on the brakes. So it didn't cost him much, maybe a car length and a half to Ron Silk. Silk stalking the 51, but he just can't seem to close on it.
That might have been one of the moves of the race right there, as Justin Bonsignor going 3 wide to keep his position. And Silk thought maybe he would able to pick up some ground. That was not the case. We go to Eric Goodale in 3rd. And now it is Emmerling getting nudged by Lutz. So a little Woody Woodpecker action to the back bumper of the Lutz, the 07. The yellow comes out with 4 to go. So a dramatic plot twist. That was a pretty good battle between Emmerling and Lutz. But the yellow is out.
Boy, and that is, I'll tell you what, we talked about the fact that there was the possibility of a late race caution, and that's what Doug Kobe would need to try and close the gap on those leaders, and it came true. We talked about the fact that there have been late race cautions in this event, and we've actually gone into overtime. This is going to be interesting as they'll rack them up for the restart.
Okay, the format for the overtime. A maximum of 2 laps. Now, if they finish, before they finish 1 lap, if a yellow would come out, you go back to another 2-lap scenario. However, if the white flag comes out after they cross the line, the next flag, either yellow or checker, will end the race. So we will do this as many times as we needed to. If you go 1 lap and don't finish it and the yellow comes out, we have another overtime session. But if the yellow, if you cross the line and the white flag comes out, then the next flag will end it. And it will be a side-by-side restart between Bonsignor and Silk. Goodale third, then it's Emmerling, Lutz, and Doug Colby is 6. So in 2 laps, maybe Colby can pick up a couple of positions, because remember, he is looking at the big picture, trying to win his 6th championship. So any points he can get will be like an added bonus for him.
He came in here with the point lead. He has a win and a pole so far in 2019, and with a decent lead over Jimmy Blewett. And we talked about the fact that Justin Bonsignor has not had such a great 2019. Bonsignor came in 18th in the point standings to this weekend. So it's definitely to Doug Colby's advantage to pick up what he can, even with only a couple of laps to go.
Now, Doug Colby has already picked up 2 bonus points, as he got 1 point for leading a lap. Then he wrapped up the point for leading the most laps, because he led for the first 99. And then he ran over the air hose and lost the lead, and Bonsignor got it from him. But he has 2 points. You get 43 for winning the race, 3 added bonus points for winning. That's 46. Then you get a point for leading a lap and a point for the most laps. So Justin Bonsignor knows he will have 1 bonus point, and Doug Colby has 2.
Well, when they come around the next time, they will complete 150 laps, the scheduled distance of this event. So
a little OT.
Yeah, we talked about the fact that there was that possibility, and it comes true.
Let's go to Dave Barabalt.
Matt, I just checked in with the Ron Silk team. They just say they're going to throw their best at him and do what they can over the final 2 laps.
And we've seen Ron Silk have some late race charges here in the Tour. There was one time he made a late pit stop with about 10 to go. It looked like there was no way he would win, and he almost extracted a victory. So Ronnie Silk can be very dangerous in this situation. Eric Goodale in the 58 in 3rd. So most of the time on the Whelen Modified Tour, the leader elects to go to the outside. That's what Justin Bonsignor has been doing for the last 4 years. He is going for his 10th overall Thompson Tour win and his 5th in a row. But Ron Silk, coming off that victory in South Boston, he has a hot hand right now. So it all comes down to a restart in an overtime situation. So we are headed for a great showdown. And remember the cliche that we have? You're only as good as your last restart. Both Bonsignor and Silk will be looking for great ones.
Well, there's always that possibility of spinning the tires, missing a shift, getting out of the groove, whatever the case may be. So restarts can be tough, particularly when there's so much pressure in the fact that this is an overtime restart. So it'll be interesting to see.
Remember the green-white checker a few years ago, Ronnie Silk against Rowan Pennock, and Pennock jumped the start, and Ronnie Silk was able to win.
Here they come. Green flag is in the air. And Bonsignor gets back out in front, gets a pretty good shove from Craig Lutz at the green, and now the... Well, the caution
so
light
it
came on for a
is the
second.
51 of Bonsignor. Here comes Silk. Goodale getting by Lutz. Emmerling trying to get by Lutz.
Here comes Bonsignor clear in that lead, gets the white flag, 1 more lap to go, and he is cleanly in the lead with Silk running second.
Next flag will end the race. Here is Bonsignor as he is able to lightning bolt his way into the 3rd corner. Silk in second. Here comes Bonsignor. He will take the 5th. 5 wins in a row at Thompson for Justin Bonsignor, and his first win of 2019. Ron Silk in second. Eric Goodale in 3rd. Patrick Emmerling in 4th. Doug Colby picked up a position to move into 5th. Burt Meyer 6th. Matt Swanson 7th. Finishing in 8th, it is Woody Pitcat. In 9th, Chris Pastriak. In 10th, Jimmy Blewett. In 11th, Sammy Ramo. In 12th, Kyle Benjamin. In 13th, Craig Lutz. In 14th, Kyle Bonsignor. In 15th, Timmy Salamito. In 16th, Blake Barney. John McKennedy was 17th. Tommy Catalano was 18th. In 19th was Calvin Carroll. In 20th, Dave Sapienza. In 21st, J.B. Fortin. In 22nd, Anthony Nacella. Wade Cole was next. Then in 26, Melissa Fifield. Then it was Andrew Krause. And Rob Summers finished 28th. Victory celebration for Justin Bonsignor, as it didn't look like he had enough to derail Doug Colby, but the pit stop on lap 100 decided the race. Colby left the pit area first, ran over an air hose, was penalized, and had to go to the rear of the field. That gave the keys to the penthouse to Justin Bonsignor, and he was able to break out of a slump, win his first race of the year, and 5 in a row at Thompson, his 10th tour victory at Thompson. So Justin Bonsignor came to a happy place for him, looking to get back in the championship race, and that is exactly what he did. So the 51 will be making its way to the winner's circle. You see the 85 of Ronnie Silk and the 58 of Eric Gordale, which went second and third. They are lining up there, but we will await the arrival of our race winner, Justin Bonsignor. And here he is in Victory Lane, your winner of the 2019 Thompson Icebreaker, Justin Bonsignor. So he will be surrounded by all of his friends. Now, our day isn't over. We want everybody to stay with us because we have a barn burner coming up for the late models. So don't forget, the late models will be next, and hopefully you will hang with us and you will be treated to a great race. So it will be Bonsignor ready to climb out of the car. His Thompson magic continues. It didn't look like it was going to be the case on lap number 99, but by the time we got to lap 105, it was Justin Bonsignor again. Remember last year at the Icebreaker, he said he had the third best car behind John McKennedy and Chase Dowling, and I think maybe today he had the second best car, but no one will remember that when they look at the stat sheet. The only thing they'll see is a 51 at the top rung of the ladder. So we are getting ready for our post-race ceremony. Pete Falcone is standing by. But first of all, a lot of people with cell phone cameras, they want to get a glimpse of our Icebreaker winner. This couldn't have came at a better time as far as Justin Bonsignor. If he had problems here, the 2019 season could have been toast, could have been a disaster. But he came through with a great effort. Second would have been good, but first was even better as he picks up 47 points, 43 for a win, 3 bonus points for the win, and 1 for leading a lap. So a very profitable day and a U-turn in the season for Bonsignor. So he will have 1 drink to wet his throat before he talks to the media, and then he will be climbing out of the car. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen, your defending and current Icebreaker champion, Justin Bonsignor. And he goes to the door to celebrate, and his crew is having a great time too. And he is pretty energetic there. Let's go to our host of Victory Lane, Pete Falcone.
Well, Justin Bonsignor keeps the streak alive.
Yeah, you got to be lucky sometimes, and we didn't start the year off too lucky, but you take him any way we can get him. That was going to be a dogfight with Doug. We've both been really good all weekend, and he was a little better on that hard tire. I think our car would have been better on the or closer to him on the soft tire, but sometimes you need a little luck, and if this is what we need to get the momentum going for the year, we'll take it.
What went through your mind when you found out there was a penalty there?
There's some problems going on with race control, so my spotter, nobody really knew what was going on with him. I left the pits at the same time. I didn't know. It took us a lap, but once he didn't maintain pace car speed, I was like, well, we're in good shape here. So, and once we get the lead here, it's just about minding the gap. And my spotter did a great job giving us intervals, and just can't thank this whole team enough. Phoenix Communications, Clearcom IT, first race for them this year. All our product sponsors, Robert Yates Engines, LFR, Robbie Fuller, Ryan Stone, and this whole pit crew. The whole team just do such a great job, and this is crazy. This is my 10th win here with Thompson, with Ken and Janine Massa, so this is unbelievable.
Well, and it's exactly what you wished for, hoping to turn it around at Thompson, and you did.
Yeah, I knew all week I was beating myself up pretty good for what I did down there last week. I just I tore the car up early, and I said under green last week when I was putting around about 50 laps down that I'll make it up next week, boys. And you know, like I said, you got to have some good luck to go with this deal, and on to Stafford.
All right, just what the doctor ordered. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thanks all the fans coming out. It was a beautiful day here at Thompson. We love coming here, and good to see everybody here.
Justin Bonsignor makes it 5 in a row and his 10th overall here at Thompson, and in dramatic fashion wins the Icebreaker NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour Race.
And now we'll see if Pete can get any words from Ron Silk or Eric Goodale. Eric Goodale standing by his number 58 car. And somewhere in that picture is Ron Silk. Ron Silk, how has he done in the last 2 races with a win and a second and an opportunity maybe to make it 2 in a row? And Eric Goodale had some pretty good pit strategy today as they changed a tire early. So then when everybody came into pit, he was able to not use as many tires, and it enabled him to go from back in the pack to finish in 3rd. So some good strategy there by the 58 team. So now we'll go back to Pete Falcone with Ron Silk.
Yeah, Ron Silk comes home second, just shy of picking up 2 in a row. Tell us about those last few laps, particularly right after the restart.
I mean, we had a great car. Not as good as the 51. I think obviously the 51 and the 2 were the 2 best cars here today, this whole weekend. But you know, I thought we were just as good as anyone else, and my guys had a great pit stop, got me out of the pit second there, 3rd, but Doug got put to the back, and track position is important. So we had a good car at the end, and you know, won last week, finished second this week. It's good to have some momentum.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ron Silk picks up second spot. And Eric Goodale, another great run here today for the 58. Just a little short, but you'll take a podium finish, right?
Absolutely, the way our last couple races I've gone here. So this was a team effort today. My pit crew did a hell of a job on pit road. I think we picked up 7 or 8 positions on pit road. So, you know, they gave me the track position, and fortunately I was able to hold on to it for them. So real proud of them on pit road.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Eric Goodale comes home in the 3rd spot here this afternoon. Very happy with the podium finish here at Thompson.
And thank you, Pete. And don't forget, the Whelen Modified Tour will return to Thompson on June 5th. It'll be a Wednesday night show for the Thompson 125. Also with us will be the Sunoco Modifieds, the late models, the light Modifieds, the limited sportsmen, and the mini stocks. But June 5th, mark that, write that on your wrist so you won't forget it. That's when the tour will be back in town. And our next attraction here at Thompson will be May 19th, the limited sportsman long distance event. The Drifters will be here, and also it will be Military Appreciation Day. So that'll be our next attraction here on May 19th. And the next time we will see Justin Bonsignor looking for a 6-pack. 6 consecutive wins here, and we'll see if he will be able to do it. But when he celebrates tonight, I think he'll be drinking a 5th of something, symbolizing 5 straight wins at Thompson. And Ed, I don't know who has ever done that before, as Bonsignor might be in the tour history book because he was able to take the 5th today. And he will tell you he might have been lucky, but it will still count. And once he got the lead, he did a great job, and nobody was going to lasso him. So, Bonsignor, still the ceremony is underway. Remember, the late models are coming up, and that is going to be a great race with William Wall and Tom Carey III on the front row. So, make sure you stay with us. If you're hungry, we have great food at our concession stands. So hot dogs, burgers, chicken tenders, pizza, nachos. So the party continues as the late models will be out here, and we hope you stay with us because the late model drivers have been very patient, waiting on the mountain road for a while, and they'll finally get an opportunity to open their 2019 season. So don't forget, May 19th, a Sunday show. It will be the big day for the limited sportsmen, as they will have an extra distance event. So Justin Bonsignor, who started the day in 18th place, he will make a move up. Doug Colby, we expect him to still hang on to the number 1 spot. And drivers like Jimmy Blewett, Burt Myers, Patrick Emmerling, Chris Pastriak, they all had pretty good finishes. So the order of the top 5